Glasses here. And now they're gone. So, doing a show today. You know, many people have been asking me. Many people, like, they come up to me. Many people are saying, and they ask me, "What the hell? You talk about processed food. You talk about calories. You talk about all this bull ass shit. But what the fuck does any of it even mean? What is processed food? What is ultra processed food? I don't know. I need your fucking help." So, I decided that I'm not going to help you, and instead, I'm going to outsource it to a Washington Post article to see what they're saying. What are ultra-processed foods? What should I eat instead? So let's see. What does the Washington Post have to say about this? There's lots of news going on here about the American diet. Joe Biden is saying, you know what? Fuck that goddamn shit. Pizza and hot dogs. Be gone, bitch. He's saying goodbye to the pizza and hot dogs, and so should you. Anyway, let's see what Washington Post has to say. Is your diet ultra-processed? In many households, ultra-processed foods are mainstays at the kitchen table. They include products that you may not even think of as junk food, such as breakfast cereals. Yo, I was at the grocery store yesterday. Went to the cereal aisle. Oops All Berries, Oreo O's, fucking, like, what, Fruit Loops. How can a motherfucker not know that breakfast cereal, is not junk food? Okay, but anyway. Muffins? You don't think muffins are junk food? It's a fucking muffin! Snack bars? Yo, I mean, I can't with this list. This is, who is this written by? Okay. Sweetened yogurts? Really? Sweetened yogurts? No, I would never have guessed it's sweetened yogurts. Sweetened yogurts are junk food? No. Soft drinks? Oh! I would have never realized Coca-Cola's junk food? Who's this article written for? I don't know. These foods represent an increasingly large share of the world's diet. Almost 60% of calories that adults in America eat are from ultra-processed foods. Now, again, I have said this many times on my show. Calories don't mean anything. Calories are negative information. Whatever you think about calories, just get it out of your brain. It doesn't mean anything. They account for 25 to 50% of the calories consumed in many other countries, including England, Canada, France, Lebanon, Japan, and Brazil. Every year, food companies introduce thousands of new ultra-processed foods with an endless variety of flavors and ingredients. These products deliver potent combinations of fat, sugar, sodium, and artificial flavors. You gotta have the artificial flavors. You can't have natural flavors. Fuck that shit. They are what scientists call hyper-palatable, irresistible, easy to overeat, and capable of hijacking the brain's reward system and provoking powerful cravings. Oh, you know what that reminds me of? Cocaine. You know what that reminds me of? Alcohol. You know what that reminds me of? Crystal meth. It's a fucking drug. I don't know. I mean, I've said this many times. But I just love how, like, mainstream media, they can't interpret it that way. They're just like, oh, this food is really good and it makes people happy and it makes them unable to stop eating. Huh. Yet, in dozens of large studies, scientists have found that ultra-processed foods are linked to higher rates of obesity, heart disease, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, and colon cancer. A recent study of more than 22,000 people found that people who ate a lot of ultra-processed foods had a 19% higher likelihood of early death, 32% higher risk of dying from heart disease compared to people who ate few ultra-processed foods. So how do we break our dependence on ultra-processed foods? You can start by learning which foods in your diet count as ultra-processed. You don't necessarily have to give them up, but once you know how to spot an ultra-processed food, it's easy to find a less processed substitute. All right, y'all. So what is an ultra-processed food? This is your body on ultra-processed foods. Okay, well, what is an ultra-processed food? Finding less processed substitutes. All right? We already know what happens to your body. It fucks you up, okay? Fucks you up beyond belief. Your liver is going to get all fucking fatted up, right? Your kidneys are going to go like, right? Your lungs are going to go like, right? It fucks your shit up. You know about hearts? Well, you don't know shit about hearts on processed food. Why? Because they're going to fuck you up in ways that you can't even imagine, okay? So we'll skip that part. The simplest way to cut ultra-processed foods from your diet is to buy fewer prepared and packaged foods to consume more whole and minimally processed foods. Instead of buying sweetened fruit yogurts loaded with additives. Who the fuck buys sweetened yogurt? Like, I'm serious, man. I know Americans, like, they're fucking crazy. But I haven't had, like, fucking yogurt since, like, my mom gave me Go-Gurt in, like, fucking 3rd grade. Like, who the fuck? Oh, God, yogurt! I'm so healthy! Like, it's literally just sugar and more sugar and fructose and just throw some sugar on top. That's what fuck. And also plain yogurt. I mean, yogurt's not that good. I mean, fuck the yogurt, okay? I'm anti-yogurt. Add berries, nut butter, and honey if you like. Consider skipping the frozen chicken nuggets and making those baked nuggets at home, which don't take much more time. How about you skip the whole chicken thing anyway? We add chlorine to that shit. Bleach our fucking chickens. What the fuck? Who does that? You should also eliminate sugary sodas and sports drinks. I love the idea of sports drinks. You ever meet these people that obviously are not doing any form of a sport whatsoever, probably haven't in fucking 30 years, and they're buying like a 28 pack of fucking Gatorade? You ever see that motherfucking shit? You ever see that fucking shit? They don't need that shit. Sports drinks. Like, again, like, this is a genius of marketing. Same thing with juice, right? Like, juice. Oh, it's healthy for you. Sports drinks. Oh, it's good. It has electrolytes. Oh, it has electrolytes. Oh, great. Well, I'm glad. You know, like, I'm glad that I could get my electrolytes from Gatorade. Where else would I get them? How else would I get those electrolytes? I don't know, eating fucking food, maybe? Like, again, even if you're doing sports, Gatorade isn't even that healthy for you. It's better to just get, like, a direct electrolyte thing, maybe a little bit of sugar. But Gatorade just goes way over the top. They use that artificial-ass shit. They use fructose. They use all the fucking garbage, okay? I mean, again, sports drinks, like, that's a category. You know what that's called? It's called soda without the carbonation. That's what Gatorade is. It's soda without the carbonation. It's not a fucking, like, you know, a fucking puzzle that has 60,000 fucking pieces. It's soda with no carbonation. It's that simple, okay? The same thing with juice. Substitute with sparkling water with lemon or lime, unsweetened teas, and plain water or water flavored with real fruit. I'm a seltzer person. I like seltzer. So, if you need the convenience of ultra-processed foods, you can check labels and comparison shop. Now, again, checking labels, I'm going to be honest with you. Checking labels, yeah, you want to check labels, obviously. Duh, no shit. But no one needs the convenience of ultra-processed foods, right? That is like, that's already bad to begin with, right? That's like, oh, are you tired? You can't wake up in time to do your second job? Have you tried crystal meth? Right? Like, whoa, about, I don't know, maybe we reorganize our system to prevent that from being in the first place, where crystal meth is the best idea on how to proceed, right? You don't need anything about processed food. You just don't need it. You just, like, oh, like, I don't know, how about you cook fucking food at home? It takes 15 minutes to cook something really basic. I don't know, you could do bulk cooking, get some fucking leftovers in the fridge, eat some leftover spaghetti or some shit in the morning. Hey, it's better than this fucking shit. I'm just saying. So, try to pick the products with the fewest ingredients. For help while shopping, you can pull up a website on your phone called truefood.tech. On the site, you can type in a food that you want to buy, such as chicken nuggets or breakfast cereal, neither of which you should ever be buying. Don't buy those things. But if you do buy those things, you can go to truefood.tech. They'll tell you what to do. And in the response, the site will show you dozens of brands and recommend the least processed versions. Oh, it uses machine learning. This is just an advertisement for some random startup. I mean, you know, God bless them. But this site was created. Okay, this is what? This is just an advertisement. Anyway. So, okay, the Washington Post. How to cut. So, what are processed foods? I don't know. It doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you. What are ultra-processed foods? What should I eat instead? It doesn't really tell you. It doesn't tell you what the definition of ultra-processed is. It doesn't tell you that. And then, like, the last half, how do I stop eating ultra-processed foods? Oh, go download this app. Oh, great. Okay. By the way, did you know that this app's CEO is a really cool guy? Like, what? Who fucking cares? Anyway, mainstream media talking about ultra-processed foods, I don't know, man. It's really cringy. Like, I try to read all these articles, sometimes I think, they look good enough to do on the show. But once again, it's as easy as just buying regular ass food, just buying whole foods. You know, it's that easy. Buy canned food if you have to. Canned food is what we call like the minimally, possibly, like, you know, canned vegetables, that kind of shit. Minimal processing. It's not even really processing, really. When you when you look at, like, that's the thing with our definitions. Like, all these words don't mean anything. What does processing mean? I mean, there's a process of picking a goddamn bell pepper and putting it on the produce aisle. That's a process. But when they mean by processed food, what they mean is, like, you know, they isolate the proteins and they isolate all the fucking shit and then they reassemble it. Like, it's like reverse engineering food or whatever. That's really what they mean when they say all, like, processed, ultra processed, right? So yes, there is a process of putting vegetables in a can, but does that really count as processed in this forum of, like, what we're conversing about? Not really. But either way, I love the idea that people just don't know that breakfast cereal. Oh, I had no idea that the Fruit Loops were junk food. Oh, I had no idea. I just had no idea. Oh my god, man. Anyway,